Hi, Joy Anderson with Preschool System. You are going to love this video. We have a very special series coming up. It's with Deborah Browning. She is in our Preschool All-Stars community, and she's going to teach you how to create an online preschool. She has an amazing preschool going on right now, and she's going to give you all of her tips and tricks to be able to create your own successful online preschool. Enjoy the series.
To where I am now. How in the world did I become a preschool all-star? It has always been my dream to have my own daycare. My last year of teaching, my back completely went out. Could not meet the demands of the classroom. Paramedics had to take me from the school, take me to the hospital, everything. As a result, doctors would not allow me to return to work, and I had to retire or resign medically. At that time, I was so stressed and I was just like, what am I gonna do? And I am a believer, and I do believe that I serve an amazing God. And I realized that He had just taken me off the path that I was supposed to get off of and set me on my new path, which is taking me back to my heart and my dream to have my own daycare. So I took a job as a daycare director. I was managing a center that had 280 kids. I had a staff of 36. I'd gotten on track to the owner. She was ready to get rid of it. She was going to sell it to me. I had a business partner, and we were ready to buy this school. I had so much stress about it though, because my heart is teaching. But let me tell you what happens in a daycare. They're all about numbers. I had a pre-K class that the state said could have 30 kids in it with two teachers. What kind of teaching is going to happen in that classroom? None whatsoever, because you are trying to manage 30 3- and 4-year-olds. It's crowd control. You're trying to make sure that people's kids come to you in one piece and they leave in one piece. And so things did not work out for that purchase. On the end of the seller, she found out because she had bought another center, the way she did her financing, it couldn't work. But that was another way where God stopped it. And I'm so excited that He did. Because once that happened, I was like, what in the world am I going to do? I had my business name. I had the license already. I had the bank account. We had the EIN, because we needed all of that to get approved to buy that center. But I was stressed every day. I was missing my kids. I have a 10-year-old. I have a 5-year-old. I was leaving home before they woke up. I was getting home after they were already asleep. My kids decided to start getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning just so they can see me in the mornings before they had to ride to school. That was their decision. But you know what? It was not worth it. I couldn't do that anymore. I could not sacrifice these valuable years with my kids the way I was at that daycare. And so then COVID happened. My boss put me on a leave of absence because our enrollment went from 280 to 25 kids. Just like that. That's why God stopped it, because if I had bought that daycare at the time, my friend and I would have been in so much trouble. The enrollment at that center hasn't reached over 60 now because of COVID. That's when I was like, what am I going to do? And I saw that ad that all of us probably saw, how to start your own preschool. And I listened to Joy's video about the difference in a preschool and a daycare. And I was like, that's why I was so frustrated at that daycare. I wanted kids to learn, but it was an impossible environment to make that happen. And so once I got introduced to Joy's system, I was like, oh, I'm in, I'm ready, let's do this. And it has been such a blessing and so amazing ever since. And I will tell you, am I rolling in the dough? No, I'm not. But that's because it's my choice. Not only am I at home, I'm homeschooling my own kids now. And I'm so excited to do that. So my schedule is, I don't have the full day to be able to commit to teaching online, but I can create any sessions that I want, okay? So that is what got me here with Preschool All-Stars, and I'm so excited to be here, okay? I have a little bit of an outline. As I'm talking, I will visit questions as we go. I hope you have some pen and paper. I'm going to be sharing a lot of just ideas and a lot of resources and websites and things like that that I would like for you guys to see, okay? So the way that
excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just heard you just said that, have a pen and paper. I'm currently just driving on my way home. Is there any way that we can get a copy of this recording or no?
Get a copy of the recording?
Yeah.
So I will get with Joy and see what's the best way for us to be able to get. Oh, Joy just said yes. I will add it into the free Facebook group, something like that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll make sure you guys are taken care of. Okay. So I was also a part of that I want to call it generation, because we have such a big generation for Preschool All-Stars now. I was a part of that. Online learning started, and Joy was like, oh my gosh, I have a crazy idea. If you want to hear my crazy idea, and we all know how Joy talks. She gets us all hyped and excited about everything, and you just buy in. And Joy said, I've got a crazy idea. Meet me at this time. And guys, I already had my house set up for in-person preschool. I'd already done the work. But now COVID, I can't have kids come in. What am I going to do? And Joy said, online preschool. I can do that. I can totally do that. She gave us some steps on setting things up and all that. And once it's so nerve-wracking making that first step, that first leap and making it public, putting yourself out there, because then comes criticism, comes rejection, or comes the acceptance. We don't know what we're gonna get. And so when I made that first leap, I made that first post, I changed my cover, and it was like, I'm out there. And let me tell you what happened. My husband actually posted it before I did. And I was like, dude, I wasn't ready. He was like, well, it's out there, so let's go, babe. And so it just happened. And so I'm so glad that it happened. I've had the opportunity to teach 15 different kids. Right now, I have 5 kids enrolled. And my situation was a little different. I started over the summer. I had preschool kiddos. Well, all of those preschool kiddos were going into pre-K, and their families wanted to stick with me. And so what did I do? I'm not teaching preschool right now. I'm actually teaching pre-K. But it's still the same concept, still the same outline. Everything works the exact same way, okay? So when Joy first launched this, the encouragement was to do a 30-minute lesson, teaching time, and a 30-minute preschool pal time, like time for the kids to talk and interact. My model is a little different, and it's okay if you have a different model, because Joy has given us the foundation. Once you have the foundation, you can tweak it and make it your own however you want to do. So the way that I've tweaked my program is I do an hour program. I start at 11 o'clock and we're done by 12. Sometimes it might run over. Sometimes we might be done a little bit, but oh my gosh, how in the world do you keep kids' attention for a whole entire hour? The first most important thing, and you can put this in all caps, systematic approach. You have to have a systematic approach. When you have that systematic approach, then everything else works like clockworks. The kids get used to the system, they get used to the routine, you get used to the system and used to the routine. So the way my system looks on Monday when it comes to phonics, Monday, I am introducing the letter to the kids. I have my letter cards. Now, it's very important to have letters in isolation, okay? And I say in isolation because at this age, number one, kids can be so distracted, right? But if I show them letter J, what are they looking at? They're looking at the jelly beans. Oh, I see that I like jelly beans. Can I eat the jelly? So it completely takes away from the letter. So have your letters, numbers, colors, shapes, have everything in isolation. One little side note, when you're doing colors, try not to teach colors within a shape because they're one-track thinking. They're either going to see the circle or they might see the color. So find shapes and everything that's going to be in isolation. But Monday is all about introducing the letter. Monday is all about introducing the letter. When I introduce that letter, I've got the cards. I always put a movement with the letter sound. J says jump, as in jump. Let's do that together. J says jump, as in jump. Then we watch a little video that goes along with the letter. And that's Monday. On Tuesday, we're reviewing the letter again. Remember our letter, it's the letter J. And after that, we're gonna listen to a video where we're gonna hear a song, where we're gonna hear the letter sound in words. Wednesday, that's gonna be our time to practice writing the word. Thursday, we're gonna practice reading the word, that letter poem. And let's find all of those letters in our poem. Friday, we're doing a directed drawing with that letter. And every Friday, they know, tomorrow's Friday. What do we need to have, guys? Pencil, paper, and crayons. That's right, tomorrow's Friday. And we do a directed drawing where I literally draw and they follow. So when we were doing the letter J, if you guys can see the highlighted part, that's my letter J, and they all start off with that. And then our J turns into something that begins with that letter. So this was a jack-o'-lantern. And so it's so fun for them because they're like, what is it? Oh, I know what it is. But that's systematic. So I don't have to worry about what am I gonna do with this letter every single week. I do the same exact thing every single week, just with a new letter. It's the same thing with your schedule. However you're gonna break your schedule down, I first do a movement, then I do the Pledge of Allegiance, then we do our calendar time. After calendar, we do weather, we do all of that stuff, we do our story, then we go into phonics with our letter. After phonics, I do sight words. That's an option if you want to. I do sight words with my kiddos. After sight words, now we're finishing our language arts section. They're gonna do a movement. So they know after we've done everything with letters and words, we're gonna get a movement break. After that movement break, then we'll do stuff with math. The great thing about doing a systematic approach is if you have your system, your kids get used to it, and then if you accidentally forget something, they're gonna say, we didn't do, like one day I forgot to do weather. And I started reading the story, and in the middle of my story, or after the story, then one of my kiddos said, Miss Deborah, we didn't do the weather. OMG, thank you so much for telling me that. Let's do our weather right quick, because you have a system that the kids can understand that what's going to happen and what the approach is. It's up to you on, what you want your time for your sessions to be. I prefer an hour only because 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it goes by so fast. And so I like to make sure that whatever I am giving to the kids, that it is a good quality, that I'm not having to rush through everything like a little whirlwind, because I want them to be able to retain as much of the information as possible. One other thing, we are working with kids. So there is a level of flexibility also to where I may have had a 1 or 2 step something to do with the kiddos, but I couldn't do everything because they became disinterested. Or they might be so engaged and so interested in something that I might extend it a little bit, and that's fine also. But you really just have that flexibility on how your kids are interacting and how they're participating. I do have my session that I'm going to play. I'm going to kind of pause and play to kind of just mention anything specific. Again, it's not perfect. It's a way, and use it as, just kind of like even an idea or an outline for what it can actually look like to teach preschoolers. Every session always starts off with a dance break. write this down. GoNoodle.com is a great website, but things have changed on Go Noodle. So if you literally just go on YouTube and search Go Noodle, you will find so many different dances that the kids can do. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Right, here we go. Today's the first day of our learning week. Today is Monday. And we are in the month of October. Today's day, guys, is the 19th. Can we say 19th? 19th. There it is, the 19th. 19th. And what year are we in? 2019. Good job. 2020. All right, so let's do our date. Repeat after me. You ready? Today is Monday. October 19th. 2020. Good job. Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week. Good job. Here we go. January, February, March, April, May, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, July, August, September, October, November, December, 12 months in a year. Next, we have our four seasons in a year. Spring, summer, fall, winter, 4 seasons in a year. What season are we in? We're in the fall. We're in the fall. Good job. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? Everybody check your weather. All right, Ethan, what's your weather?
Sunny and hot and cool.
Sunny, hot, and cold?
Just a little bit cold.
Just a little cold? Okay. Zoe, what's your weather?
Sunny and cold.
Sunny and cold. Good job. And Naya, what's your weather?
It's cold
It's cold
and hot.
and hot.
Yes. I don't get that.
Is it sunny?
No, hot. Hot.
Cold and hot.
Cold and hot.
Okay. Today my weather is sunny and cold. That's my weather. Ready? We're going to learn about pumpkins this week, okay? So every book that we read is going to have something to do with what? It's going to have something to do with pumpkin. So our book for today is called Pumpkin Day. So just a quick pause. So if you all saw, timing-wise, to do all of everything for calendar, there's so many skills that kids grasp just doing calendar time. It's a very important time of the instructional day. So, you know, I've seen some people say, I'm not going to do calendar because it takes so much time. That's the point, because when they're taking the time to learn their days of the week, months of the year, the seasons, all of those things, like that is knowledge that they're obtaining. So it's worth taking, you know, the 6 or 7 minutes that, you know, that it takes to do the calendar time. Now, as you heard on here, I did tell them that the theme for that week was pumpkins. Teaching based on a thematic unit makes things so easy. There's so much content out there that you can find about these things. This was, I have, oh my gosh, just from my years of teaching, I have so many books, and I could not find all of my pumpkin books. I had that one book that I could show them. All my other books came off of YouTube. I just put books about pumpkins read aloud. And some of them are so great, they're up close enough to where you can mute the YouTube video and you can read the book as the person is turning the page for you. But teaching to a thematic unit it makes things and the guesswork on what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? It makes it so easy, even when it comes to choosing books. When it comes to thematic units, where do we get this? These are things that would come through like curriculum, right? As I said, I've been teaching for 15 years, right, guys? And I have so many materials, so many different kind of resources. But I still was like, you know what? I think I need just something that's going to kind of push me over when it comes to really having a good grasp on topics to teach on and ideas to use. And I jumped in and I got this. I got the Preschool in a Box. I'm not advertising for Joy. I can only speak for myself. Joy's Preschool in a Box comes with this great curriculum. And guys, it's already broken down into the thematic units. So it gives you, again, Joy gives you the foundation for what you can use, for things to use, and then you grow it from there. So if I'm not sure, okay, what kind of thematic units would I even do? What is a thematic unit? What are the kind of things that I would want to talk about? We could think kids like sports, they like cards, they like dinosaurs, but you start to run out. And this curriculum that Joy has, it gives you so many great thematic units. So listen, we've spent so much time investing our time in other people's stuff. It's okay to invest in your own, okay? It's okay to invest in something that's only going to help to make your program great, okay? If you choose not to go this route, that is your choice. This was just my choice, okay? A lot of other All-Stars have chosen this, and we've used this as the foundation and grown on it.
Hey, have you heard about Preschool in a Box? It's literally the one thing I wished I had when I started my preschool 10 years ago. It would have saved me so much time and so much money. Instead, I did the wrong things at the wrong time. Waste of time, I tell you. I can't wait to tell you all about Preschool in a Box. All the things I wished I had, like curriculum. Oh my gosh, can I even tell you how many hours I spent every single night on Pinterest and Facebook groups and the blogs and Google trying to find activities to do for lessons the next day. Or forms. What the heck was I supposed to give to my preschool families? What was I supposed to include in a policies and procedures handbook? Or marketing. How was I supposed to sign up kids? I had a preschool to fill and I had money that I needed at the end of the month, but how was I going to get that tuition, right? All of those components are inside of Preschool in a Box and a whole lot more. I want to get you Preschool in a Box. I've got an exclusive opportunity for you. When you join our Preschool All-Stars membership, not only will you be surrounded by myself and hundreds of preschool owners cheering you on during your journey, you get an exclusive discount on Preschool in a Box. I'm talking out of this world. When people see it, they kind of lose their mind. They're so excited, ready to grab it right away. I can't wait to get you your exclusive discount on Preschool in a Box. Just join Preschool All-Stars. Click the link in the description or go to preschoolallstars.com. It's going to be like Christmas.
But there's also other things that you can do. If you can't get that preschool program yet, then Pinterest, I love Pinterest. Pinterest, I want to make sure, are you guys seeing my Pinterest view right now? Okay, perfect. It kind of confuses me sometimes when I switch screens. But if you're not sure of what to do, or even with the thematic units that Joy has in there, and you want to say, okay, well, what all can I do in the month of November?
Well, that's fine.
What all can I do in the month of November? Pinterest, all I did was I just typed in November thematic units, and look at all these things that you could do in November. And then once you see this list here, then you can start saying, okay, what do I want to add? What do I not want to add? Or look and see, okay, here are some good November ones. Where are those units in Joy's book? And then use that as a basis and then add on to it. It's that easy. That takes all, like a lot of the things that are set up for us as Preschool All-Stars, it takes a lot of the extra time that you have to put into to try to figure things out. We really have a great path that's already set. It's just a matter of utilizing it as our foundation and just growing from there. But once you decide on your themes, then you can start looking for books that go along with that theme to add to your. You don't have to go and spend $500 on scholastics.com or on Amazon trying to get books that you can to hold in your hand when the kids are just as engaged looking at the books on the video. Okay. Again, with those thematic units, it goes back to that. What was that number one thing I told y'all to write in all capital letters? Systematic approach, right? Systematic approach. That working with thematic units, it helps to support that systematic approach. So then you know, okay, let me, for example, October, the first week of October was Fire Safety Week, right? Well, I also knew that I wanted to work on counting one-to-one with the kids. Counting one-to-one to say how many. That is a skill for children to learn. Well, I found these that went along with my fire safety theme. We were also working on syllables. So with that fire safety theme, I found some syllable fire safety stuff, okay? It's not stuff that I'm going and spending money on. Some of the stuff I might, and I'll show you where you can do that too, but some of the stuff you can make, some of the things you can find templates and make it in your Word, print it out and use it for your instruction, and it's something that's engaging to help enrich your thematic units that go along with what you're teaching.
Wasn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, everyone who's seen this video knows how amazing it is and how much it's going to help you create a successful online preschool. Now guess what? The video series isn't done yet. Post in the comments, what was your favorite part about this video? And as always, please subscribe, share, and like these videos so I can get more of them to women just like you. And now enjoy the next video.